In March 2026 alone, DailyRemote listed over 1,700 entry-level remote jobs. Glassdoor showed over 2,600 more. These are not theoretical openings. Companies are actively hiring people with no prior remote experience, no degree requirements, and no specialized certifications. The gap between wanting a remote job and having one is smaller than most people think, but it does require the right approach, and that is exactly what this video is going to give you. By the end of this video, you will know the 4 highest paying remote roles accessible without experience, the exact skills each one requires, and how fast you can build them. The resume and application strategy that gets interviews instead of silence, and the job boards and tactics that give you an actual edge over hundreds of other applicants. Let us start with the truth about what no experience actually means. What no experience actually means. When a company posts a remote job and says, "No experience required," they do not mean no skills required. They mean no prior professional employment history in this specific role. Skills and experience are not the same thing. You can build the skills that land an $80,000 remote job in weeks or months through free online courses, personal projects, freelance work, and self-directed learning. What employers care about most is evidence that you can do the work, not a job title on a resume from 5 years ago. Your first remote job is a door, not a destination. Get through it, learn fast, and the next move becomes dramatically easier. Remote role number 1, Tech Sales Development Representative. We covered tech sales in our first video as a high-income career path, but for remote work specifically, it deserves its own spotlight. The Sales Development Representative role is one of the highest paying entry-level remote positions available in 2026. SDRs handle outreach to potential customers, qualify leads, and book meetings for senior account executives. Companies invest heavily in training SDRs because the role is a direct pipeline to future account executive positions. Base salary for entry-level SDRs ranges from $45,000 to $60,000. But on-target earnings, including commission, run $70,000 to $90,000 at most software companies. And SDRs who consistently hit quota get promoted to account executive within 6 to 12 months. At that point, on-target earnings jump to $120,000 to $180,000. No degree required. No prior sales experience required at most companies. What you do need is strong written communication, energy, and the ability to handle rejection without losing momentum. How to get started with no experience. Complete the free HubSpot Sales Software Certification at academy.hubspot.com. It takes about 4 hours and gives you a credential that signals initiative to hiring managers. Practice cold email writing and outreach scripts using free online templates. Apply specifically to software companies with 50 to 500 employees. Smaller companies have less competition for their SDR roles and are more willing to train entry-level hires. Remote role number 2, Cybersecurity Analyst. We covered cybersecurity in video 1 as a high-income career without a degree. In 2026, it is also one of the most remote-friendly fields in the entire job market. Nearly all cybersecurity analyst work can be done from anywhere with a secure internet connection, and the global shortage of 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity roles means companies are actively competing for entry-level talent. Entry-level remote cybersecurity analysts earn $55,000 to $75,000 per year. With 2 to 3 years of experience, that rises to $85,000 to $115,000. The path in without experience follows the certification route we outlined in video 1. CompTIA Security Plus is your entry point. 2 to 4 months of self-study, $392 exam fee. Immediately recognizable to every hiring manager in the field. Add a free Try Hack Me or Hack the Box profile showing your hands-on practice. And you have evidence of skills that beats a resume with years of unrelated work history. Companies actively hiring remote entry-level cybersecurity talent include Booz Allen Hamilton, Leidos, Mantech, and many federal contractors who specifically seek Security Plus certified candidates. Remote role number 3, Technical Writer. This is one of the most overlooked $80,000 remote roles that requires no prior experience in a technical field. Technical writers create how-to guides, instruction manuals, API documentation, and user guides for software companies. Their job is translating complex technical information into plain language anyone can follow. If you are good at writing clearly and can learn new tools quickly, this role is accessible to you. Entry-level technical writers earn $60,000 to $80,000 remotely. Senior technical writers earn $90,000 to $120,000. And because all of this work is done in documents and collaboration tools, it is almost entirely remote by default. How to get started with no experience. Build a portfolio of 3 to 5 writing samples. Pick any software product you use regularly. Write a clear how-to guide for one of its features as if explaining it to a complete beginner. Do this for 3 different products and you have a portfolio. Free resources to learn technical writing include Google's technical writing courses, which are available at developers.google.com and are completely free. The Society for Technical Communication also offers resources and a community of professionals you can learn from. Apply to roles titled Junior Technical Writer, Associate Technical Writer, or Documentation Specialist. These are the entry point titles that do not require years of experience. Remote role number 4, UX/UI Designer. User experience and user interface design is one of the fastest growing remote fields in 2026. UX designers focus on how digital products work and feel for the user. UI designers focus on how they look visually. Most companies hire for both skills together. Entry-level UX/UI designers earn $55,000 to $80,000 remotely. Mid-level designers with 2 to 3 years of experience earn $80,000 to $110,000. The most important thing to understand about this field is that the tools are learnable for free. Figma, the industry standard design tool, has free tutorials on their website and on YouTube that can take a complete beginner to proficient within a few weeks. Google offers a free UX design certificate through Coursera that takes approximately 6 months at 10 hours per week. It covers the full design process and helps you build portfolio projects at the same time. Your portfolio is everything in this field. Hiring managers care far more about the quality of your design work than the number of years you have been doing it. Build 3 case studies showing your design process from problem to solution. Document your thinking, your wireframes, and your final designs. A strong portfolio of 3 projects will outperform a weak portfolio of 20. How the hidden job market works. Here is a statistic that changes how most people approach job searching. 70 to 85% of jobs are never posted publicly. They are filled through referrals, internal promotions, and direct outreach before a listing ever goes live. This means applying on LinkedIn and Indeed puts you in competition with hundreds of applicants for the roles that are left over after the hidden market is exhausted. The candidates who consistently land high-paying remote roles are not the ones submitting the most applications. They are the ones who found their way into the hidden market. Here is how to do that. Strategy 1. Reach out directly to hiring managers on LinkedIn. Find the hiring manager or team lead for the role you want at a company you want to work for. Send a short direct message that is not a cover letter. Something like, "I came across your team while researching companies doing interesting work in this space. I have been building my skills in this area and would love to learn more about how your team approaches this work. Would you be open to a 15-minute conversation?" That message has one goal: start a conversation, not apply for a job. The job conversation comes later after you have established a human connection. Strategy 2. Find companies before they post roles. Follow 20 to 30 companies in your target field on LinkedIn. Turn on notifications for their job postings. The moment a role goes live, apply within the first 24 hours. Early applicants get reviewed before applicant volumes make hiring managers selective. Strategy 3. Use niche remote job boards instead of general ones. Applying on Indeed and LinkedIn puts you in a pool of hundreds. Niche job boards yield better results because they attract companies specifically committed to remote hiring. DailyRemote, we work remotely, FlexJobs, and Remote.co are all significantly less crowded than the major boards. Remote-first companies like Zapier, GitLab, Automatic, Buffer, and Doist post roles on their own career pages before listing them anywhere else. Checking those career pages directly and signing up for job alerts is a genuine competitive advantage. Your resume strategy for remote roles. Most people write resumes that describe what they did. Winning resumes describe what they achieved. And for remote roles specifically, your resume needs to do one additional thing. Demonstrate that you can work independently without supervision. Here is the resume structure that gets remote interviews. At the top, include a 2-sentence professional summary that specifically mentions remote work. Something like, results-driven communications professional with a portfolio of self-directed technical writing projects. Experienced working independently in distributed environments and proficient in Google Workspace, Notion, Slack, and Zoom. That summary signals to a remote hiring manager in the first 5 seconds that you understand what working remotely requires. Under each experience section, quantify every achievement you can, even if your experience is from a completely different field. A retail job where you handled 200 customer interactions per day and maintained a 97% satisfaction rating demonstrates communication skills, resilience, and performance tracking, all of which are directly relevant to remote customer-facing roles. A freelance project you did for a neighbor's small business demonstrates self-direction, client management, and delivery without oversight, all of which are directly relevant to any remote role. The rule is simple. Every bullet point on your resume should answer the question, so what? Not I managed social media accounts, but I managed social media accounts for a local business, growing their Instagram following from 200 to 2,400 over 8 months through consistent content strategy. That is a bullet point that gets interviews. The ATS problem and how to beat it. Most large companies use an applicant tracking system to filter resumes before a human ever reads them. Research shows that 75% of resumes are rejected by ATS before reaching a hiring manager. The filter is simple. The system scans for keywords from the job description. If your resume does not contain enough of those keywords, it never gets seen. The fix is equally simple. For every job you apply to, open the job description and identify the key skills and phrases they use repeatedly. Then make sure those exact phrases appear naturally in your resume. If the job description says proficient in Salesforce CRM, your resume should say proficient in Salesforce CRM, not experienced with CRM tools. The exact phrase is what the system scans for. Do not stuff keywords in a way that reads unnaturally, but do make sure every major requirement in the job description is reflected somewhere in your resume using their language. Target an 80% keyword match between the job description and your resume for every application. Building evidence before you have experience. The most common objection to everything we have covered is I do not have any of this experience yet. So here is the actual solution. Build the evidence before you need it. For tech sales, spend 2 weeks writing and sending cold outreach emails for a cause you care about or for a local business willing to let you practice. Document your open rates and responses. That is sales experience. For cybersecurity, create a free Try Hack Me account and complete 3 learning paths. Screenshot your completions and add them to a simple PDF portfolio. That is demonstrated hands-on cybersecurity skill. For technical writing, write 3 how-to guides for software you already use. Publish them on a free Medium account or a simple personal website. Link to them in your resume. That is a technical writing portfolio. For UX UI design, complete Google's free UX certificate on Coursera. Complete the 3 portfolio projects included in the course. Those projects become your portfolio immediately. None of these require money. All of them require 4 to 12 weeks of consistent, focused effort, and all of them give you something to point to when a hiring manager asks what experience you have. The interview strategy for remote roles. Remote job interviews have one additional evaluation layer that in-person roles do not. Every hiring manager is asking a silent question throughout the conversation. Can this person manage themselves? Here is how you demonstrate yes to that question in every answer. When asked about your work style, use this framing. Say, I am highly self-directed and thrive when given clear outcomes rather than step-by-step instructions. I communicate proactively when I hit obstacles rather than waiting for someone to check in on me. And I use async communication tools like Slack and Notion to keep collaborators informed without creating unnecessary meetings. That answer addresses every concern a remote hiring manager has in about 45 seconds. When asked about a challenge you overcame, always choose an example that demonstrates independent problem solving, not a team effort where you relied on others to find the solution. Remote work rewards people who figure things out on their own. Show them you are that person. When asked why you want to work remotely, do not say flexibility or work-life balance. Every candidate says that. Say, remote work allows me to be fully focused and do my best work in a distraction-free environment. I have found that I am most productive when I can structure my time around deep work blocks and clear deliverables. I am looking for a company that values output over presence. That answer makes you sound like someone who is going to outperform in-office employees, which is exactly what remote hiring managers want to hear. Negotiating your remote salary. We covered salary negotiation in depth in our last video. But remote roles have a specific wrinkle worth addressing. Some companies apply geographic salary adjustments for remote employees, meaning if you are based in a lower cost of living area, they may try to pay you less than a colleague in San Francisco doing the same role. The counter to this is simple. Research the role's salary range nationally using levels.fyi, Glassdoor, and LinkedIn Salary. Then frame your ask around the national market rate, not the local one. Say, based on national market data for this role, the range I am targeting is between your target range. I am excited about the flexibility of remote work, but I want to make sure we land on compensation that reflects the national market value for what this role delivers. Most companies will not push back on that framing, and if they do, that tells you something important about how they value their remote team. Your action plan this week. Step 1. Pick one of the 4 remote roles we covered today: Tech Sales SDR, Cybersecurity Analyst, Technical Writer, or UX UI Designer. Choose based on your existing strengths and which skill set you can build most quickly. Step 2. Start building your evidence this week, not next month. This week, complete 1 free course, write 1 portfolio piece, or earn 1 certification. Step 3. Set up your LinkedIn profile for remote work. Add the phrase "open to remote work" to your headline. Turn on the open to work feature filtered specifically to remote positions. Optimize your about section to mention your target role and your strongest relevant skills. Step 4. Sign up for job alerts on DailyRemote, We Work Remotely, and FlexJobs. Turn on company alerts for 10 to 20 companies in your target field. Step 5. Send 5 direct outreach messages on LinkedIn this week. Not applications, conversations. 5 messages to 5 people in roles you aspire to, asking about their experience and how they got started. That habit, done consistently for 60 to 90 days, opens more doors than any job board ever will. The remote job market in 2026 is more accessible than it has ever been. The barrier is not experience, it is strategy. And now you have the strategy. If this video gave you something useful, hit subscribe. Every week on the Compound Brief, we break down careers, money, real estate, and business in plain English. No fluff, no gatekeeping. Next week, we are covering how to start an LLC in 2026, step by step, including what most people get wrong that costs them money from day one. That video drops next week. See you then.